Hey, Fee, what would you say has been your favorite part of this one-on-one, and what has been your most, your most skill of getting to this far, to be your best skill at getting to this far?
I think, I mean, the most fun is watching other people, just like because of the matchups. I think have been so fun, especially that second round. There was a lot of good games. When I'm playing, I feel like I'm just so focused on getting to my spots and winning. But you can appreciate it a lot more when you're just watching the other people.
Thank you.
Go to Noah.
I think fans have clamored for one-on-one tournaments, in the NBA, WNBA for a long time, and you guys have been willing to kind of be vulnerable and be put on that stage. And for some people, it's worked out. Other people, maybe haven't had their best performances. When you guys were trying to get buy-in from people to participate in the one-on-one tournament, was it hard to sell this idea that like you're going to be on a stage and maybe you're going to lose 12-0 to a rookie, or maybe you're going to have a terrible performance and people can clip it up and post it on social media? Or was it just like you guys didn't really care about that, or weren't too worried?
I think once people saw the prize money, that kind of abated a lot of our worries because, I mean, for 200K, and it was more before, but we decided to, obviously split it up between the teammates of the winner of. So I think just like seeing that money, it got everyone like chomping at the bit to go out there, and we all, I think, have a lot of confidence also in our games. That's why we're professional athletes. So you have like high expectations, going in.
Thanks.
Doug.
Fee, take out the fact you're doing really well in the tournament so far as a playing standpoint, but as a founder and a league owner, how are you feeling this tournament's going so far for Unrivaled, for being the inaugural one of it?
I think, well, I mean, I think, like I said, especially the semifinal, or not the semis, the second round the other day were some really good games. They're fun to watch. People seem to really enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. So I think it's going well.
Thank you.
Ben.
Yeah, two questions. Would you want to see this at WNBA All-Star, and could it work if you guys got the purse, the money to, incentivize players in the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, obviously, like you said, you're putting players in a vulnerable position where like it is you're putting like yourself on the line. So I do think the money would have to be worth it for players. But if it was, then yeah, I think it's a great thing for fans to watch. It's super exciting. It's fun for us to do. So, but on the upside, obviously we have to make it worth it.
And then from an encore perspective, like looking forward, how would you just improve the tournament in future years? Like, do you like it games ending on free throws, for instance? I know that's been, a little bit of a pain point online from folks too.
Yeah, it's hard because you obviously no one wants the game to end on a free throw, but then, if you take it away, then you open athletes up for injury because you can just hack someone to make sure that they don't get that last shot. So it is a fine line. I think there are things we want to, adjust. Just we're making it up as we go. And once you put it into practice, you kind of see what works and what doesn't. So I think there are going to be some adjustments, but I don't know exactly what those are going to be for next year.
Jackie.
Hi, Fee. Thanks so much for taking the time. I've got a couple for you. So, what strategies have served you the best throughout the tournament?
Getting to my hot spots. Everyone knows I like to be in the mid range. So when I can get into that spot, I feel really good about being able to win the game. Um, and then playing defense. I mean, if they can't score, they can't win. So making sure that I'm really locked in on my opponents.
And so, obviously, you're going against Azurá, who you know very well, and she just was here talking about how your games are actually quite similar. So, I guess, with that being a thing and quite a challenge when you're going against someone with a similar game, what's going to be the key to winning and advancing?
I think just what I've done in the other games, I'm definitely going to have to play some good defense on Z. She's a lot longer than me, and so I have to kind of figure that out with how I'm going to get around her because I probably won't be able to shoot over her like I have been with my other opponents. So just playing smarter. I have to try to, just try to get her to move a little bit more.
Thank you.
Courtney.
Just one more. What has been the biggest impact for this one-on-one tournament in your eyes?
I feel like the culture. We're trying to really change the culture of women's basketball. you know, you see like you go to the playground or the park and you see guys playing pickup where they're playing ones. You don't see that with women a lot. And we're really trying to change that, just what it means to be a female athlete and the culture of just like playing in your backyard, playing at the park, playing ones like we're doing. We're not seeing that a lot. And so we're trying to change that.
Thank you.
I'll take one from Jambori and then Jacob.
For Fee, I was gonna say you've been absolutely dominating your opponents like this entire league. I wanted to know is how much more extra motivation is there playing in Unrivaled?
A lot. You know, I definitely feel like I'm using Unrivaled for its exact purpose. I'm trying to get better all around as an athlete in my skill set, getting stronger in the weight room, just using all the tools here so that I can become a more complete and better player. And then, you know, the game is built perfectly for that. You get to implement your skills right away. The hardest thing is to practice your skills and then put them in the game, like put them into real game like situations. And because there's, you know, two less people on each team and your usage is so high here, you get to really practice that and get better a lot faster. So that's what I'm trying to do and take advantage of here.
I'll go to Jacob.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, you touched on this a little bit, Fee, but I wanted to ask how much work went into this ahead of time in terms of ensuring that level playing field to where you can have a semis with competitors of different sizes and different playing styles. How much work went into that, and then how do you evaluate kind of that level playing field you guys have created in the first year of this?
For the one-on-one tournament.
Yes.
So I don't know how they put us into pods, but for the pods, like it was a combination of we voted like 1 through 8. We had the fans vote and we had, I think, like media vote. And so that's kind of how they determined it was like luck, not luck of the draw. We voted on it, but that's how they kind of determined the seeding for that. So sometimes it's like not an even playing field because you're voted into who they think the best player is in each pod. And that's exactly how it is in the regular game. You have disadvantages and you have advantages that you have to use to your disposal. And so I think it's really, I mean, lifelike situation.
Thank you.
And last couple here. Just Noah. Go ahead.
Yeah, just wanted to follow up on something you said about the culture. Do you have any theories or like thoughts on why women's basketball hasn't had like as robust as a one-on-one culture as men's? You know, I agree with you. Growing up, I also felt the same way, but I'm just wondering if you have any opinions on why that might have ended up being the case.
I don't know. I do feel like women's sports is a lot more, what's the word, organized than men's sports. Like we are put onto teams like very, very early. You have traveling and you have like your club teams and blah, blah, blah. So I do feel like the women's side is very organized. And so that kind of takes away the individuality and the skills that you learn just playing at the park or pickup or whatever it is. So hopefully we can, like I said, try to change the outlook on that a little bit.
Thanks.
Okay, and then last two, we'll go to Amanda and then Jackie.
Hi, Fee. I'm wondering what the prep is looking like this week, especially in terms of recovery from the last matchups to these ones coming up, and also like mental prep for this.
Yeah, definitely trying to get my body right. It's kind of a balance because you know we're not playing, so we're off the whole week. So you want to rest, but then you don't want to rest too much where you kind of lose a step. But definitely like mentally trying to get through thinking we have potentially 4 games tomorrow when everyone was dying at 2 on Tuesday. It's going to be a grind. I mean, it's a lot of money and they're going to make us work for it, which we should. But yeah, it's going to be tough for sure.
And
Thank you.
oh, and
Go
again,
ahead.
oh, whoops.
Go ahead.
My bad, Tish, my bad. So building off on that question when it comes to health and getting your bodies right, obviously there were a bunch of players who decided to sit out of this late in the game. So I'm just curious how you've seen players balance out, you know, playing hard in Unrivaled while also making sure, well, wait, you know, I don't want to be injured before the WNBA season. So how have you sort of seen players deal with that balance?
I don't think people would sit out so they're ready to go for the WNBA season. I think it's just like you have to listen to your body. If it's hurting and you feel like you can't play, like I don't think you should put it at risk for sure. And it's the same in the W season. Like if you have things that are hurting, like people sit out for that. So I think that's what's happening here. And it's unfortunate. You never want people to have injuries, but we definitely don't want to push people to where they injure something more.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Fee. That concludes our media avails for Fee and Azurá. Thanks.